Where are you?
I'm at home.
What state?
Oh, I'm in, I'm at home. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, you're in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Where are you at?
I'm here. Well, let the new rappers tell it. I'm not in Atlanta. I'm in Cobb.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
thing.
really? Oh, it's not. It's
Tell me
crazy.
that not from Atlanta. It's not Atlanta. Smyrna. It's not Atlanta. Let the girl.
It's all Atlanta to me.
Call it Paul. It's not Atlanta. That's the way she said it. Yes, you know.
All right, we are all here. Yay. Hi, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce us to the call. So hi there, my name is Danica Roberts. I'm an administrative assistant for Guitar Gabby and the TxLips, and welcome to Intersections of Black History in the World. So today, Tiye Cochran is going to be our host for a conversation, and we're featuring Faith Lynn and Bree, who are some awesome musicians. Tiye and Bree are actually part of the TxLips. They're part of the TxLips Gang. And so we're going to talk a bit today about the intersections of Black history, but also with just kind of the different topics that we all kind of delve in. I'm going to dip out of the conversation and go ahead and hand it over to Tiye.
Yo, what's good? What's great? What's pop? What's shake? I'm your girl Tiye. I'll be conducting the conversation today between you two lovely ladies and myself. I got a little intel, a little info on Faith Lynn prior to us going live. But Miss Bree, I want to kick it with you since I didn't get a chance to chat it up with you. What's good with you?
Hi, I'm Bree. I'm using Zoom. The first time was for because I had spoken at a protest the summer before. I had gone on Zoom, and then this one activist was like, "Oh, would you like to do a Q&A with me and other people that were working with us?" So yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm assuming you guys were talking a bunch before I had figured out that there was a button that said join audio. I don't know how I didn't process that. But yeah, I'm Bree, pretty awkward. Just came out of school a few hours ago, and it's Friday, so I'm very happy.
That's awesome. Where are you? And are you in Atlanta?
I'm in Baltimore. Yeah.
Okay, alrighty. So you're in the DMV.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I want to ask you a few questions. I'm gonna get started with you. Well, what instrument do you play?
I play multiple instruments, but the main thing I'm known for playing is bass guitar. But my favorite instrument to play is actually violin. I just don't post it.
Oh wow, that's dope. Really? What are some things you like to play on the violin? Who's your favorite composer?
Well, I'm not sure if I have a favorite composer, to be honest, because it's just I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to whatever song I want to learn how to play. I usually just end up playing pop songs on the violin because it's just it's the least time consuming, and I don't have a lot of time to learn hard stuff since I'm not in orchestra anymore. I haven't been in orchestra since middle school. So maybe when I don't know, when I have more time to do so, maybe I'll get more into that side of things. But until then, I'm kind of just having fun. I'm vibing.
That's what's up. So what are your passions in music? What are your music passions?
Never been much of a writer. I mean, I do like to write, but songs, I don't know why I have the hardest time writing them. I like performing though, a lot. So it really doesn't matter what I'm singing, in my opinion, what I'm singing, what I'm playing. I just like putting on a show. I like attention. So, I like making people turn heads, whether it's good or bad, because it's just I all of it. I'm kind of a leech in that sense. I don't know.
No, you're a true artist. I think we all like attention. I think we all want people to admire our abilities and see look what I can do, but look how I do it the best, Or I that's what I love. I love the competitive nature of of performing and music. I feel like there was a point in rap where it stopped being about skills and it just kind of was. I mean, to some degree, it's still happening, but it's like it stopped being about skills, and that's kind of when I lost my passion for rap because it's like if it's not about who's doing it the best, then I don't want to be a part of it. If it's not about who can deliver the most, entertaining bars and who can have the most intriguing flow and the most potent delivery, those types of things. It's like you want people to admire you for that skill or those
Right.
skills. Faith Lynn, what about you? What are your music passions?
So I play the violin also too, so that's really cool. Guitar and piano. I'm obsessed with songwriting though. That's definitely my main passion.
Word. What about songwriting? Is your thing?
I started when I was really young. I think I wrote like my first song when I was 12 years old, and it was for my dad. And I don't know, I loved how it was a way that I could like release myself and like all the thoughts that were in my head, they could come out in such like a sweet melody instead of all jumbled how it usually does when I'm talking. So I just liked that. It was kind of like a mental release for me. And then I liked how as I started to get better at it and started singing in front of people, I liked how I could see the audience kind of relate to those same thoughts, just kind of made me feel like more a part of it.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I feel like songwriting it's something I used to be more patient with, but with I am an MC and I freestyle a lot. I'm a member of Soul Food Cypher, which is a community of improvisational hip hop artists, and I feel like now I have to be like moving around to write, and even then I can't write. Like I freestyle to myself and I just say it over and over again until it becomes something. But I told myself after this Zoom, there's a song that I've got to finish and I've got to sit down and make myself do it because
Right.
it's got to get done. I feel like that's a big thing with songwriting too. Like it's one thing to start a song, but finishing a
Finishing
song.
it, yeah. And then dealing with writer's block, I have that sometimes for like days at a time. And honestly, I've kind of found little ways to like find my inspiration in the world. Like maybe I need to stop for a second, put the pen down, and go hang out with a friend, have them tell me a story or something like that.
Mm.
Any random thing like that. Go people watch. You know what I mean? Sit at a restaurant by yourself, something like that. Make up little stories for people around me, and I come back to it. It might not be specifically about what I saw or like what I heard, but it gets my thoughts moving again instead of being stuck where they were.
Yeah, that's a good tactic. That's a really good tactic. Cause like for me, when I get when I get stuck, like I've got songs that I've been working on for like 5 years that like honestly, like I open up my Pro Tools and I'm like, dang, I look through the folder. Or like I'm big on sampling when it comes down to my hip hop like beats and things like that. And so I might be listening to that particular song. Like for instance, this is one Luther Vandross song that I've been working on a sample for almost 6 years on it, but I always get stuck and always say, I'll forget it. But every time the song comes on, when it gets to that one particular part, that's saying those bars keep coming back to my head. And I'm like, okay, it's meant for me to finish this song. It's meant for me to do
Right.
this song. Yeah. Now, I guess I'll go with the next question, which is I'll start with you, Faith Lynn. Why is music your passion and how did you get into music performance?
Okay, so like going back to like what I said when I was very young, my first instrument was piano. And my mom allowed me and my brother to take piano lessons when I was about 8 years old, and I absolutely hated it. Like I hated practicing, I hated learning how to read music and playing the songs and it not sounding the way I wanted it to because I wanted it right then and there. And I didn't realize the dedication and the patience you needed to master an instrument. And I still haven't mastered it yet, but to get better at it. And we were playing that same instrument and my brother started to play the violin, and I was like, I didn't have anything of my own. So when I was 12, I started taking guitar lessons, and my guitar instructor, he was a really cool guy. He put me to sleep most of the time, but sometimes he would bring me like these songs by the Beatles and like encourage me to play the chords and start singing the songs, and like he would sing the songs for me, and I thought that was really cool. That was like a really cool take on guitar. So then I took that and started taking the chords and putting my own words to it and doing that. And then my parents started encouraging me to perform in front of people, like maybe in front of like a small crowd. I used to go to church when I was younger, so I would like play in front of the church just to have like an encouraging kind of experience with performance. And I just kind of fell in love with it. Like I've never felt that way before, as I do when I like stand in front of a group of people and share my music.
It's so funny. That's dope. The Beatles, like the
Yeah.
Beatles use like the same like three chords in all their songs too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's a great,
it's
they're a great band to like, if you're starting out, it's a great band to follow and like pick up on their music.
yeah, most definitely. I think you said something there as far as performing, just that feeling, that enthralling feeling of being able um to move people with your energy and to receive that energy back. You know, it's one of
Right.
those, it's one of the most rewarding processes and feelings, like performing in general. I also played violin in school in orchestra, and I think for me, I mean, we didn't realize it. I don't think we realized, you know, the term performing artists or performing arts growing up. It was just, I feel like for me personally, I think a lot of the times you hear these terms growing up and they're just terms, and then you really don't wrap your head around it until you're, you know, older and you actually understand it. And being in the performing arts was one of the things that um, I feel kind of helped me understand myself, because
Yeah.
just like you say, we work, I think everybody, each of us, were in orchestra, so you know, you get the you get the pieces of music, maybe four pieces of music at the beginning of the semester, and then you're going through it and you're working on it, you're working on it, and you're listening to it, and you're learning, like, you know, at first when you're playing it, it sounds like trash, and as it comes together, it comes together, and then finally you work all semester on on these pieces of music so that you can perform at the winter festival, or you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, the spring festival, or you know, whatever is coming up,
Yeah.
you're getting ready to perform the whole time. And I don't think we realized it until you know, looking back at it, that I think, you know, now as adults performing, you know, you really feel tied to that process of making something happen, making something come from nothing, and then being able to give it to
Right,
people.
exactly. Exactly. That discipline, I definitely, when I was younger, I didn't understand it so much, but I'm definitely grateful for it now that I'm older and I can use my craft, you know what I mean, and pursue a career in it. But that discipline and the patience it takes, like you were talking about with songwriting too, like when you finish that song though, or when you know, practice and finally have that performance, that feeling right there, I can't find it anywhere else.
Yeah, it's definitely a high. Bree, why is music your passion, and how did you get into music performance?
Um, I mean, I got into music performance because, like, see, I'm like 17. I turned 18 in like 2 weeks now.
Oh,
Um,
you're a baby.
so I mean, I got into music performance from, like, I don't know. It's a large range. It'll be like from Hannah Montana to Willow Smith to Beyonce.
No,
Hey,
don't diminish it. Don't diminish it. All of these
like
references are valid.
it's a lot. It's a large range because my parents did expose me to a lot of different genres of music, which I am grateful for. And um, yeah, so that kind of, like, I was always up and dancing somewhere. I was always somewhere humming a song. Obviously, everybody does that. But to go ahead and take, you know, whatever little melody you went ahead and made while you were, like, I don't know, taking a shower, and to make it into a full blown song is like fantastic. And then I like to dance too. So, like, coming up with choreography for that stuff and just like having like imagining backup dancers and stuff, like, I like that stuff. I like that side of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're still you're in the dopest phase of life right now. I mean, all phases, all life is dope, but I'd say right now you're in the still in your formative years. So as far as you being able to really experience so many different aspects with a clear and unjaded point of view is really dope. You know, it's like you say Hannah Montana and you laugh, but it's true. Like Hannah Montana was a really dope for, you know what I mean? Like, because I can say personally, growing up, music and Disney shows is what really got people into wanting to sing and do things. You know, it's like Little Mermaid, watching Little Mermaid, all the songs in Little Mermaid, you want to sing and you want to dance with Sebastian and all of that, and those types of things that get you into wanting to create further. You know, the things that you enjoy that bring you joy makes you want to, be able to have that power to create and bring joy to others as well. So that's dope. So when you say middle school, you literally mean like 3 years ago. You haven't.
Pretty much. I like one of my memories so far until I get like old and just like it becomes more distant. So yeah, it wasn't that long ago to me, but like yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Oh no, man. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Um, well, since you're still, are you still in high school?
Yep, I'm in my senior year right now. I get out of school May 20th.
Yo, it's super dope. Congratulations. That's exciting. So
So
since we've got you, we've got you right here on on the edge of hopping into the real world, what are some things outside of music that you're passionate about?
oh, I like making clothes. I do art too. So I sell my paintings outside of, making music on my own. And yeah, because painting is my main thing I do. I mean, I do like to draw and stuff, but like painting is where it's at for real. And then I just like reading to the library or going to pick up a book. Is just a good way to learn about other people without talking to people. And I'm pretty like awkward in case you couldn't tell. So like I try not to talk to as many people as possible. So yeah.
You got to embrace the awkward though. Like the awkward is the thing that I'm a very socially awkward person sometimes, I feel. And that's the dope that's the dopeness of being human. You know what I mean? Like being awkward lets you know you're alive,
Yeah.
because only on the internet is everything perfect and everything. Oh, only computers and robots, you know, get to,
Absolutely.
embrace it, because those feelings sometimes for me, when I feel most awkward, those are the things that inspire me most to want to write a song, because my feeling like somebody didn't understand me or something was misunderstood about me, it feels like, okay, I can't get this. I think it's similar to what you said earlier, Faith, when you were like, you may not be able, you were talking about communicating with your father, I think it was, and you were like, you know, um, you may not be able to get a sentence out, but you can get the song out. A
Yeah.
lot of the times I feel like, when you feel awkward about something, or the things that extreme feelings in the extreme sense in general is what really helped me to write a song. Like if I feel angry about something, I'm going to write a song. If I feel sad about something, I'm going to write a song. If I feel super happy about something, I'm going to write a song. Feeling those feelings are the things that let us know that we actually are alive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Let's get to it. We've only got a few more questions, and then I guess the conversation can really kind of go in a different direction. But I guess I'll ask you, Faith, who are some Black people that inspire you in each of those passions you talked about?
Uh,
Did I ask you what you were passionate about outside of music?
no, but I can do that and tell you who
Yeah,
inspired.
yeah, I thought so. Okay, I thought so. Like, wait a second, I didn't get any answer from her.
So one of my biggest influences, I actually have her lyrics tattooed on my back, is Tracy Chapman.
Oh wow.
Yeah, definitely love her. She never went as mainstream as I believed her music could go, but that was probably for good reasons. But I just loved, one thing I really loved about Tracy Chapman is that she's a Black woman, beautiful Black woman, but she was never afraid to like step outside of the box and just genuinely be herself. And I'm not just talking about her music, but even within her lifestyle. And I've always admired that, and I've always like strived to be that kind of person too, that was just fearlessly me. So she's definitely one of my passions. So that's within music, but outside of music, I've been getting really into self-care. So I'm starting to really love going to the gym, working out, taking care of myself, making little friend dates and stuff like that, exchanging conversations and just thoughts with friends one-on-one and in small groups. I think that just keeps my mental very healthy as well, and that's just I've been getting really into that, I'd say, recently.
Yeah, that's very important. I think the self care goes in hand in hand with being able to be in tune with yourself. because
Right.
it's like no one's gonna make you do it, and nobody's gonna do the work for you. I
Right.
mean, yeah, somebody could do the work for you if you're talking BBL or talking uh lipo or something like that. But even
Right.
then, that kind of I mean, I can't speak from any perspective of having anything like that done, but at the same time, I can only imagine that you typically see once somebody gets one BBL, they end up getting a few, or once somebody gets lipo once, they ends up getting it multiple times because they don't have that dedication to sustain the work that was done for them. But when you do the work yourself, and when you spend that time and you develop those positive habits, and make the choices that lead towards getting that result that you want, it's a lot.
Right.
You feel it more, and it lasts more, and it has more meaning. But
Right.
so I guess that follow-up question would be, who are some uh Black people that inspire you in each of those passions?
I would say I have to give it to. I have an amazing trainer. He's very encouraging. So I honestly went into this. I wanted to get better with my health. I felt myself gaining a lot of weight, and just not feeling as best I do. I go up like 3 steps and have to take a break, and so like he just really encouraged me and like pushes me past when I want to quit. So he's definitely inspirational, and he's Black. So that's one. That's one. And then I have a really good, and it's Atlanta. One thing I love about Atlanta is I love the diversity within the Black community. You know what I mean? This is one city I'd have to say there's just different breeds of Black people here. You know what I mean? Like just like you have your hipsters, and then you have your musicians, and you have your your corporate class. Like you just have all these different versions. I come from such a small town, Charleston, South Carolina, and it's historically known for like the slave market and stuff like that. So there was like a certain ignorance that they wanted to keep on the Black community, and it kind of stood out, you know what I mean, when I was growing up. So to move to a place like this and see so many Black people being able to be their different selves was just so beautiful to me. So when I talk about socializing and meeting different people and talking with my friends, it's everyone that I've met here, honestly, that inspires me as far as that passion.
So you're from South Carolina originally?
Yeah, from Charleston.
That says a lot. No, definitely. I have family in South Carolina, and South Carolina is very much one of those black and white places.
Oh yeah.
Like literally, there's no gray. It's like
None.
black and white,
Exactly.
figuratively and literally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I can only imagine when I lived in a very small town called Manning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
small town, one high school, primary school, all that. I was like, what the heck is primary school? Primary before elementary school, then middle school and high school, all within the whole town. And one thing I can say about South Carolinians is that they're very genuine people, though.
Yeah.
They're probably some of the most genuine people you'll ever encounter. But it is very much that there isn't any encouragement of diversity. It's one of those, we want to keep what was.
Exactly.
What was, what is. We don't want to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's extremely historical, and then like especially like Charleston, they thrive off of that. Like it's a tourist town, and people come to look at the old slave market and like take these like little carriage tours around where you can see like the plantations and stuff like that.
That
And
makes
so,
me
like,
feel away.
oh, believe me, like it's crazy. I felt a certain way. I remember one time I used to bartend at this like little pizzeria downtown. And then this white woman, she came up to me and she asked me if I knew where the slave market was. And I had to pause for a second. And it was just around the corner, but I had to pause for a second because I'm like, of all the people, I have to be the only Black person on the street right now. Of all the people you could have asked. And it shocked me because I did know. I ended up telling her where it was, but I had to stop and like think, like, what am I doing here? Like, you know what I mean?
Right. That was one of those moments. It's like you pause, and at that moment, I knew I had to leave.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what my mind did. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's time to go.
At that moment, it's dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So you say your trainer is one of the people that inspires you.
Yeah.
When did you move to Atlanta?
About 4 years ago, solid 4 years, I think now.
Word. And what triggered that? What made you say, all right, Atlanta, this is it?
So initially it wasn't my idea. So I had one of my ex-boyfriends wanted to moved down here. And I was in Denver at the time. We were like long distance dating, and he was in Charleston, someone that I knew for years. And so I wanted to move too. So we just ended up moving together. That relationship didn't work out. We're still really good friends. That relationship didn't work out, but I decided to stay here because, like I told you, I was just like kind of in love with what I could do here. You know what I mean? The music industry was a lot better than where I was. Black people just seem to have more opportunity, you know, here. So I just like fell in love with it, and I haven't left yet.
It's the Charleston for me. You said it. You hit it.
Did
It
I
was the
say?
Southern drawl. She said, "Yeah, Charleston."
I never noticed. People say that I have like a Southern accent sometimes. I guess I just live with it. So, I don't know.
Well, you don't have the typical South Carolina accent because the South Carolina accent is almost very similar to New Orleans.
Yeah. And we have like the Gullah Geechee, like it gets really heavy too.
Yeah, really much,
Gotcha.
very much. All right, so baby Bree. Sweet
Hi.
baby Bree.
Hello.
Okay, so you said fashion is one of your things you're into. Who are some Black people that inspire you and your other passions that you spoke earlier?
Yeah, okay, we got Aaliyah. Then they don't really count because it's literally a toy, but Bratz, because I mean, look, I made this myself. It doesn't say Bratz, but it's basically the same thing. It's the same print. I know it's backwards on the screen, but you know, whatever. Then also I'd say Missy Elliott. And is there another one that I can think of off the top of my head? FKA Twigs. Yes, there you go.
Yeah, the Brats totally count. Let me tell you, the Brats influenced an entire generation. Why do you think people want to walk around with those tiny noses and big lips now? Everybody.
It's just like, wow, not the switch up. Okay.
Everybody and their auntie you want to look like a Bratz doll now. Okay, the Brats influenced an entire generation.
I'll turn on like a filter on Instagram, and then they'll like make my lips big, and I'm like, my top lip big specifically, and I'm like, my top lip is already. I don't know. I don't even want to get into it. Like,
listen, the Bratz was so serious that Mattel and Barbie, I think they sued the Bratz, if I'm not mistaken, and that's what kind of put them out of commission. But the Bratz dolls, you got to look at whenever Black people finally get representation in anything, it always takes over. You know, Barbie was Barbie. Barbie was very, very basic. You might get a chocolate Barbie every now and then, but me personally, I've never been into dolls, anything like that. So I think what really put me out of dolls was, I think I was in first grade and I wanted a my size Barbie just because it looked lit. I was like, oh, this looks dope. And it didn't help that like it only went to 3 feet and I was already like 4'11" in like first grade. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a pretty tall person. I've been the same height since 8th grade. But long story long, my size Barbie was not my size. And I said, well, in my mind, I didn't know the term for false advertisement, but I was like, so this isn't for me. You telling me inadvertently that this isn't for me. If it's my size Barbie, but it ain't got my size, then it's clearly not for me. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I kind of was really, that was the only Barbie I wanted because it just looked so dope. It was like, oh, we could wear clothes together. Like you really, it was already bad. She was like blonde and you know what I'm saying? But then when she wasn't my size, and I was over it. But back to the point at hand, once they got the Bratz dolls, young Black girls, little Black kids, little Hispanic kids, I'm gonna say Black kids because I'm Black and that's what I can relate to. But I'm gonna say like my sisters, Barbie lost so much market share at that point. And it changed the whole game. It changed the entire game after that. You know what I mean? And now we have an entire generation of people that want to look like those dolls. Those dolls came around. I don't know. Now the LOL dolls are like the little miniature versions.
oh, those kind
Bratz.
I don't know. I seen my baby cousin with one of those dolls, and like the eyes were huge, and it was staring at me, and it was like dark, and I felt some sort of way. She wasn't around. I felt like it was gonna get up and start walking, but it didn't. So I guess it's okay.
Yeah, those dolls. I mean, yeah, that's super interesting. What about Missy inspires you?
Well, first of all, I love her flow, first of all, just if we're talking about her rapping, but also her outfits in all of her music videos are just like I love it. I don't know. I just feel like I like wearing stuff that like if you are able to like walk outside and wear like literally anything, you're on top of the world. Like I went to school today and I pretty much had like the tallest bun in my hair ever. And then I had like a heart-shaped like thing on top of it. And some girls was like laughing at me this morning and they were like, oh, it's too early in the morning for all that. But I'm like, a lot of other people thought it was good. So I was, and plus I thought it looked good. And so at that point, it just didn't matter. So I'm like, if you're able to just go ahead and wear whatever you want because you're happy with it, nothing else matters. And that's what I envy about her. And that's what I strive to be more so like.
You know, and you just made such a valid point. One of the things I want you to really like carry with you, because I love that you have this energy and spirit about you. But what I want you to carry with you as you continue on your journey and your travels through life, keep that I don't care, I think it looks good attitude, because those people that laughed at you, they're gonna be, I wish them nothing but the best in the future. But if history has shown us anything, it's those people that are afraid to be those people that, oh, we don't, the ones who laugh about the things they don't know. Like you ask them a question, the teacher asked them a question in class, and they're like, we don't know. I don't know. Oh, look what she doing. Look what those people don't go very far in life. You know what I'm saying? They don't go very far. They don't amount to very much. And it's a sad fact. It's a sad truth. And it's like life is an adventure, and it's here. You're here to live it and to try things and experiment with things and, you know, be the best version of yourself that you can be. And you can't do that without trying. And sometimes we fail, but at least we try. You know what I'm saying? A try beats a try and a fail beats a never did any day. You know what I'm saying? So rock with it. Oh, Gabby done pulled up on us. What's up?
Hey y'all, I've been listening. Today's been one of those days, but I'm loving everybody's stories and energy that's being shared.
Let's get it. Yeah, and one thing you said about, and I knew what you admired about Missy. I just wanted to hear it from your point of view, because Missy is somebody that inspires us all. She's like the auntie of the game. That's just like, just everything she does is so innovative, and especially what you said about her clothing choices. One thing about Missy, she stays true to the her clothing and her videos. Her videos are always very animated, very just she's really good about keeping you engaged. She has a very good a very good sense of what it means to entertain. She's truly an entertainer all the way around. You also said her protege, her homie Aaliyah. What about Aaliyah inspires you?
Well, firstly, she's just so versatile, and that's what I strive to be more like. And I feel like I kind of already am there, because it's just like I've been told that I have a lot of stuff up my sleeve that I just don't know how to completely articulate yet, because I'm much like still young. So I feel like I relate to her in that sense. And then also it's just like, I don't know, every morning when I'm trying to find an outfit, I do find myself looking up pictures of Aaliyah to figure out what to wear. So there's that too. I don't know.
Definitely an era of style. It's so funny you should say that, because I'm tying back both of you all's now, because I'm exercising, because I've gained a little weight, gotten a little chunky, gotten a little thick. But I've been exercising, and one of the things that I think of is when relating to Aaliyah's style in the 90s, or you know, the early 2000s, is more of a comfort kind of thing. You know, she was more on the baggy style, and you know, it's like Aaliyah, TLC of that era, of that timeline. It was more about kind of the sensuality more than sexuality. They pushed the fact that they were women, but they wore baggy clothes, so they were hidden. But at the same time, it was more about how they carried themselves that really made people want to pay attention to them. It wasn't all about, oh, look at my rear end. No shame to anybody that does that. And I'm not shading anybody. Like, if you want to be a rear end individual, then by golly, be a rear end individual. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it wasn't always a focal point. That wasn't it. You know, there you had so many different shapes and sizes of women in the 90s. You had Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, Little Kim, MC Light, all of these different people, you know, Foxy Brown, and everyone had their own look and their own thing. And it was just a beautiful time to be unique. And I think that what your generation, and by listening to you speak, I feel like what you're going to do is just that. You're going to come back around and you're going to, people are hungry and thirsty for that now. And just like those girls try to say, oh, it's too early in the morning. Well, when am I supposed to do it? What you mean it's too early in the morning? That burned me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's too early in the morning for you to be this lame, is what you should feel. You know what I'm saying? Come and trying to talk to me.
Because like it was literally, we had a 2-hour delay too. So I was like, what do you mean it's too early?
For me to be creating, for me to be thinking, for me to be shining. Stop it.
I showed up to school in like sweatpants. You can do that, but like, look, I don't care if you're laughing at me though. Like, but the thing is that if you're trying to purposely get under my skin, I'm gonna let you know. Like, I promise you, I don't care. Like,
no, man. Keep that energy. I promise. Keep that energy and keep doing what you're doing. And because I promise you, you know, if it's one thing I could tell myself, I feel like, and I am telling myself by telling you, because you are all of us, you know what I mean? And we are all of each other. And here's the thing, what you do, you don't, you know, the biggest thing you do is you cheat yourself. You cheat yourself when you don't move out of fear of what other people will think. They don't even know themselves. How you gonna know me? How you gonna laugh at me? You know what I mean? You don't even know what you want to do. You don't even know who you are. So how are you gonna laugh at what I've got going on? You know what I'm saying? Your laughter doesn't mean anything to me. It has no weight to me because your intellect is light. Your intellect is light, so I could not care less about what you find comical. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. Those the facts. I like that, Bree. So Faith Lynn, I want to ask you, as far as Black history is concerned, when was your first time? Because what instrument do you play? Did I even ask you that other than?
Yeah, I started with that. I play guitar,
piano, right?
Guitar, violin, and a little piano. Yeah.
Yes, guitar. You said you didn't like piano. I reminded me of something, but I want to continue this. I don't want to jump all over the place. No. So out of guitar, when was your first time seeing a Black woman play guitar, or had you ever seen a Black woman play guitar? What really made you feel like, you know, this is where the direction I want to go in as far as being a performing artist and guitarist?
Yeah, honestly, okay, so Tracy Chapman was an inspiration as far as like songwriting and being a musician, but Indy Irate, when I started like watching her videos and stuff like early on, it just looked so cool. Like I wanted to like jump in her music videos and just like be right there with
Two
it.
beautiful chocolate women at that too. Tracy, I feel like Tracy Chapman, like you said, she didn't go super mainstream, but I feel like she's from that era where the people who loved her.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
She had like a cult following. Like her fans, like me, like her fans are her fans. You know what I mean? And no one could steal that. She couldn't disappoint. You know what I mean? Like no matter what she did. I kind of honestly, if I had to pursue if I had to pick one, I'd want to be like that. You know what I mean? I want people who genuinely just love my music years and years later. You know what I mean? When I go away, they're still playing my songs for generations to come. And I feel like she has that kind of quality. For some reason, I feel like today in the music industry, like we have these like microwave songs, and it's like they're hits for like 2 seconds and then they're gone. And then we're sitting here like, what was the name of that song? And if it wasn't for Google, we would never remember what the name of that song was, you know?
No, that's definitely factual. That's definitely factual because the industry is the industry. It's become more industrialized over the years.
Yeah.
So within that, people are products. And within those products, they want to get that quick profit. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's easier to crank out a few little hits rather than investing in someone and building them up and actually having that longevity. But I totally agree with you. I'd rather have just that solid group of people that mess with me and care for me and know who I am than having millions and millions of adulation for a couple of months.
Right.
That's really what it boils down to. It's almost like with TikTok now too. Like, you know, TikTok makes like 10 seconds of a song popular and everybody knows that 10 seconds for like a couple months, like that I think my butt getting big song. It was like, bust it, is you bust. I was like, then you like, Oh, I bow, 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 bow. Like that's all you know. You don't know anything else.
Right?
Where's
No.
the rest of the song?
Yeah, I feel that. That's a perfect example too, because like social media has gotten that way too. Like I think Vine was like the craziest one to me. I think that flew out the window. But like when things started happening like that, because it used to be like, and this is gonna like really show my age, but you remember like MySpace?
Yeah.
Like that was the slowest thing on earth. Like making friends and stuff like that. And it literally was just like the people you know, maybe like a few pedophiles, I'm not gonna lie, just random. But it was usually like just people you actually know, you know what I mean? And Facebook came out and it's like, okay, that seemed like it was more for like, you know, like business or college crowd, and that started to become more like social too. And then, you know, we have Instagram, and then now we're down to TikTok, where things are just like literally scrolling by our faces. And it's like sometimes I don't even know these things are songs until I like look up the lyrics, and then I'm like, oh, that's an actual song. And then to God, I don't know who wrote it, you know what I mean? I don't know who's actually like singing it or anything like that either.
No, you totally broke it down with the Vine. I think we all forget about the Vine. Do it for the Vine. I ain't gonna. I think
Yeah.
we all forget about Vine, and what became of that? Like, where did it go?
Right.
Like, no, like what? Like, I know it perished, but like, what happened to it? And
I
it was
don't
like,
know.
you know, we forget like Instagram, what Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg does. He absorbs everything, because even the stories, our stories, the 10-second nature of the story comes from like Vine. But isn't the
Right.
Vine like Vine was 7 seconds, I believe, if I remember correctly. And it
That's
was
some
like,
odd number, yeah.
yeah, I believe it was 7 seconds. I tried to get into it and tried to do it, but it was one of those things for me. I was just not, um, I wasn't too savvy with it, you know. It was just like, what's going on? And as far as trying to get followers, I just stayed true to like Instagram and Twitter at that point. I was like, yo, you know, I think I'm just gonna go with what I know. I know these guys over here. So, but no, you totally nailed it. It's almost like, you know, now, like Facebook is like the dinosaur in the room, you know. Facebook is literally the dinosaur, and it's not as interest driven, it's not as interest based as the TikToks and Instagram. Like, I feel
Right.
like Facebook is like who you knew, your cousin them, your auntie commenting,
Yeah.
"Ooh, looking good, girl." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's your auntie and them. And then you got like Instagram, which is like, you know, weird people. I believe this. I don't know if this is gonna be something that's controversial, but I don't believe TikTok is real.
What do you mean?
I don't believe those people on TikTok are real. I don't believe it. I think they're bots. I think all of them. I know too many people that have like 100,000 plus followers on Instagram. I mean, on TikTok. And I'm not trying to be shady or anything, but I'm like, these are not the most entertaining individuals. It's like, I'm like, so what all I gotta do is just post on this mug and people gonna start following me? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's like a real Pavlovian, where it's like, you know, you do something and then you get a reward, and your reward is the quote unquote attention. Your reward is the people looking at you. I think that yes, people engage. You're more prone to engage if you think you've got X amount of people actually interacting with you or engaging
Right.
with you. I don't believe those people are real. I just don't. I don't. I believe China has found their way into, they found a peep game and they saw what works. And I think they're giving people likes, and I think they're giving people views. I don't, because if you look at it, TikTok is the one place that you don't have to pay for play right now. Like, you
Right.
pay to play on Instagram, you pay to play on Facebook. Like,
It's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's very
if you
true.
want to be seen, outside of the algorithm, you better kick them funds up to marking them. You gotta kick Mark Zuckerberg his tribute, like an old gangster, like a gangster in Godfather. You gotta pay him his tribute, and then he's gonna let you be seen by everybody else. But on TikTok, you don't have to pay to be promoted. They're gonna show everyone. But why is that?
I don't know. I do think the people are real. So I'm gonna leave that at that. I mean, I don't know. You might be right. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But I don't know. TikTok is so baffling to me and so hit and miss. And I don't know if there is a science to it. But I also feel like it's about like the generation we're in. You know what I mean? It's about like what we're coming into, like how easily people are entertained, how desensitized we are to things, how fast our minds are moving, and we do. It's like a popularity contest. I truly believe. Have you ever seen the movie WALL-E with like the little?
Girl, that's what these people are turning into. Where they didn't know what a
That's what I think.
strawberry was, and they so
That's what I feel like it's gonna happen. Like we're just gonna be
Happening.
walking around with like just like goggles on, or it's gonna be like tapped into our brain somehow, and it's just gonna be screened just constantly. That's how we're gonna communicate off of like likes and stuff like that. Even like that Black Mirror episode where everyone was just trying to get a certain score. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
that's already a thing in China.
is it really?
Yeah, they started it about 2 years ago. No, Black Mirror is very much what society currently is, and what it's evolving into.
Yeah.
And the most important thing, but here's the thing, I tell people this all the time. I watch a lot of drug dealing shows and things like that, although I've never dealt drugs, or nor do I condone it.
Yeah,
But I
just-
do watch I
yeah.
do watch gangster flicks for the reason, because I like the mentality of make it and take it type stuff. Take it, make it, do what you got to do. But one thing they taught you in Scarface is never get high on your own supply. And Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs notoriously didn't let his children use his products. Why is that? Why is that? Because just like a drug dealer, you're not supposed to get high, and you're not supposed to get high in your own supply. So they're giving it to everyone else. They're letting the masses consume it, but they're not consuming it themselves because they know it's poison, and they know that if they consume it, just like I think it was like the president of Pepsi or something, and they were like, he was like, oh no, I never touched the stuff. Like he's not drinking Pepsi, but he got you drinking Pepsi. I used to work at this restaurant. It was a healthy food restaurant, and a high executive from Zaxby's was in there every lunch. I'm like, oh, you eating this? You're not eating fried chicken every day. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
A lot of times they sell these things. Yes, the masses consume these things, but the people that actually know the effects and know the detrimental repercussions of these things, they don't partake. You know what I'm saying? They're teaching their children how to control, how to keep the control. You know what I mean? They're not giving their kids, they're not sitting their kids in front of the iPad, and their kids aren't watching Coco Melon all damn day. I guarantee you that. Okay. So yeah, but I want to ask you, Bree. Okay, we only have a few minutes left, and I want to know, Black history is every day. Black history, and each and every one of us, we are current Black history, past, present, future, all of that. But I want to know, with your skill set and with your talents and the things that you have in front of you, what are your ambitions for the future? What you got going on, baby girl? Baby girl, Lisa, you be watching 90 Day Fiance?
Just well, I feel like I'm kind of already doing it. It's just that there's more to come. But like, having younger Black girls look up to me. But the thing is that I've already gotten comments like that on my TikTok saying like, oh yeah, my daughter like got a bass because of you, and like, or like, oh, she picked up a guitar because of you, and I'm very happy that she's doing something like outside of her phone or something. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. And then I'll have grown adults telling me like, I wish I had somebody like you when I was younger, and I'm like, oh, that's really interesting, because I didn't like, that was just something that's like really unexpected to me. That's not something I thought would come out of me posting me playing the bass in my bedroom.
It's major. It's major, just like you said. So it's just going to continue to grow for you. And you are at the most amazing space and place to be. You are here with all of this technology in front of you, just like you said. Oh, you wouldn't think that it would come from your bedroom. That's where we are now. We're in this place where you are blessed enough to where you don't have to, oh, if only I had studio time. Oh, if only I had a camera. You've got all of these devices in your hand you literally have the world at your fingertips. And as long as you continue to stay focused and motivated and driven and undaunted by any of the it's too early in the morning for this type lanes, you know what I'm saying? As long as you don't allow yourself to be swayed, you're going to do everything you want to do and more. And that's a fact.
Thank you.
Yeah, so keep being you, keep shining on the cockroaches, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't like the light. Roaches run when the light comes on. So, you know what I'm saying? They scatter. So just keep making them roaches scatter, all right?
Absolutely.
And most definitely. And I look forward to linking and seeing you in real life. And the same goes to you, Faithlyn. Where do you have any music out, Faithlyn?
I do have a couple songs on Apple Music. I'm actually just now finishing up my first official EP, so that should be released soon.
Okay. All right. Well, you got to let us know where to find it. Is it going to be, you got any links on your Insta or website or wherever you have it?
No, not yet. But you can just follow my journey on faithlynsings, faithlynsings, and I post everything that I do on there.
On Instagram, faithlynsings. All right. And where can we find you, Bree?
Oh, well, my biggest platform is TikTok.
Look, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm not saying that all of them are fake. I'm saying, listen, y'all, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out in like 5 years, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, Tiye said it. I'm telling you, there's those. There are people. They're real, but there's a reason why they want us on there so much. You know what I'm saying?
Certain creators too. I mean, not certain creators. It's just like it'll just be like a video of somebody like blinking, and then you know.
Why is it getting blown up? That's my thing. My thing is this, man. Let's do it while, just like my girl Erykah Badu says, let's think critically while we're allowed to, because there's a reason why they're dumbing us down. There's a reason why they want us to be like goldfish, attention span.
Yeah, I have to work harder to get that same attention that some random white woman's going to get for just like standing
this thing,
the blank wall. I don't know, but yeah. Devilish Bree, no spaces, no underscores. That's on TikTok. But then
Devilish Bree.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And I know. I've had the username since I was in like 8th grade, so I'm kind of not giving it up.
Okay, yeah, you're attached to it. It's She keeps saying since 8th grade, and me, I want to think 20 years ago, but it's 3 years ago. Okay, there you go. 3 years ago for you. Like, okay.
And Instagram, it's underscore Devilish Bree, and then that's it. My Twitter is also underscored. Or wait, no, it's Devilish Bree underscore. So yeah, because my old page got hacked. So.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. I remember you randomly DM'd me one time. I was like, "Who? Wait, how many pages does she have?"
Yo, it's so bad. Okay, my original Instagram page got hacked at like 9K. I was so irritated. Because for obvious reasons, because it was 9K. Now I had to start over. I'm at 2K now, so it's okay. Growing back slowly but surely. I don't really care much because my Instagram, my TikTok's just fine, and that's where I was getting most of the attention and good opportunities from. So yeah.
You're gonna make me. That's it. I'm gonna dedicate my time to TikTok. I'm gonna get me some of those bots on my get some of them bots in my pocket and let it shake. Let it do what it do. But anywho, no, seriously, I've thoroughly enjoyed the conversation with you ladies today. Thank you so much for sharing everything you've shared, and your points of view are so valid. And please continue to believe in yourself and keep pushing, because just like you've been told previously, you're inspiring people young and old, and no matter who, you never know who's seeing you and who's inspired to keep going by you. And it's very important, because it's dark out here sometimes, and the light that you shine can be the light that helps somebody see the key that they need to open the door to make sure that they continue to keep going. So just keep being you and keep being nice, and nice at what you do. Not nice to the haters, but nice at what you do.
And I just wanted to wrap up. I thank you, coming on. And I know I was kind of all over the place earlier today dealing with some clients on a long call, but thank y'all so much for joining and participating. I'm definitely going to be reaching out to both of you for this next edition that I'm curating for Guitar Girl magazine called I Belong. And so I definitely would love to extend an interview to both of you for our print and online edition. So I'll definitely be reaching out to both of you about that soon, me or somebody on my team. But at any rate, though, thank you everyone who is out there watching now and who will be watching down the road. Is there anything else that y'all wanted to add before we close it out for the night?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me there. I really appreciate it. This was awesome. It's really fun chatting it up and talking about our passion in music. So thank you, and I can't wait for the next one too.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, I hope y'all have a good rest of your weekend. I'm about to go to sleep.
All right, get your rest.
Right. All righty, y'all. Well, I'll see you later, and I'll be reaching out.
All right, later. Peace.
Good night.